What's up, y'all? It's the Out the Way podcast. It's your boy Mike Keldueno. Can I get to it? Can we get to it? Let's get to it. So Shad Moss, the first thing we're gonna talk about. I'm not gonna call him Bow Wow, even though that's his stage name, but Shad Moss. We're gonna open it up with what
Charted
he
it
had to
all
say.
this year for hip hop and anything. So how do you feel about that?
Putting out trash ass music.
No, not the chat music.
It's serious. Everything sounded like everything repetitive, same tempo. It's roll out the bed. Everybody can do that. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that. And I feel like now we getting and the reason and now we finally getting to a point where I feel like now it's about to shift back into the real. Like you really gotta have talent. You really gotta go. I think people are starting to get tired of it now. That's why you don't see nothing charting. Everything sound the same. Every girl want to get a bag, get a rich, spin the block. I'm sliding on the high. Everything is sound the same. Ain't nobody doing nothing different. So it's time to shake the game up and get it back to what it need to get back to. And that's just the real essence of artistry and real good music. Like that's gonna last forever. Like
Anybody that
I don't know. I ain't heard nothing that I say I'm gonna hear this 30 years from now.
wow.
No.
There's nobody.
I mean Drake, Kendrick, and I would say Cole. Other than that,
All right, charted.
So basically, what he said, I think he was at the BET Awards. He might have been. Basically, he was at the BET Awards. I don't know exactly what award show he was at, but I'm assuming that's what it was. And basically, just talking about how the music is trash nowadays, and nothing's really timeless. Ain't nobody really making no timeless music. It's all watered down. It's all repetitive. That I can agree with. But at the same time, I gotta say, like, it's because he's from my generation. People in their 30s. And unfortunately, we just getting older, big dog. I'm not saying I disagree with what he's saying, but we're just getting older. So we're just not really even trying to hear a lot of stuff going on today. And then you gotta understand a lot of stuff, a lot of music that we hear today is so repetitive and it sounds the same because black people are just trying to just get by, bro. So everybody that's like sitting in the hood trying to they trying to do, like right now, becoming a rapper is the easiest thing you could do, or playing sports. So if you look, a lot of women are like thriving in hip hop right now because ain't too much you got to talk about, but what he said, get a bag. You know, talk about your private parts enough, or over and over, and just talk. Basically, sex is always gonna sell. There ain't too many rappers that are women out here that we're talking about, that are talking about anything else. If they ain't talking about sex, they're not selling. But he's definitely right. Music is trash nowadays. He went on along and said that Drake, Kendrick, and J. Cole are the only people that are making like timeless music. Check into Trippie Redd. I don't know how y'all feel about Trippie Redd. He's not my favorite artist, but he's one of my favorites from like the new generation. And he has some stuff that's really not all that dope that I don't listen to, but he do got some, in my opinion, he got some timeless music. Not all of his music. But he's versatile. You feel me? So whenever I come across an artist that doesn't just rap about drilling and killing and selling drugs and being in a trap, but can also harmonize and sing and talk, making love songs and just different stuff. You feel me? He's one of them. I think Travis Scott is another one too, but we ain't gonna get into that. Drop a comment, let me know how y'all feel about that, what Shad Moss was saying, aka Bow Wow. And I looked in the comments of that post, a lot of people are agreeing. But like I said, when we were young, we weren't thinking about that. And 15 years ago, everybody that was out on the radio and all, it's different now. There wasn't no social media. Like, there was MySpace, but there wasn't the social media presence like it is now. You feel me? Like, there's more people with a presence. More artists are on social media than they are making music. And nowadays, when they release music, they don't give it enough time for us to digest it before somebody else is dropping something or before they're dropping some more music. So that's why it just sounds so repetitive, because people Like TikTok, for example. There's songs and dance songs that will go viral on TikTok. You literally got hundreds of thousands of people who are just trying to make a song that is a dance song that people can dance to, just so it can go viral on TikTok. Because if it can go viral on TikTok, then that puts it in the viral section. And when it goes viral, all the blogs are playing it. I just seen a dude, I don't know his name, but he has a song right now that's a dance song and it's pretty viral on TikTok. So last week, he closed the BET Awards show. They invited him up there because everybody's dancing to his song. So that's beneficial for him. But like I said, and like Shah said, is it a song we're gonna hear 30 years from now? You know? Probably not. I'm not even trying to hate, I'm just saying. So moving along, rest in peace to Big Pokey, man. Rapper, legendary rapper from Texas. I believe he was part of the Screwed Up Clique. I didn't listen to Big Pokey at all. But you know, he fell during his performance down somewhere in Texas. I believe it was Beaumont, Texas. He was performing and he collapsed on stage. And unfortunately, he stopped breathing and passed on. So quick moment of silence for Big Pokey. All right, so moving along, we got Young Miami of the City Girls. She came out and said, people saying she can't rap, basically, is what people was coming out saying. So she responded with saying, I ain't even gotta rap. That's what this game has come to today. When you got artists like this, and she's a part of a group called City Girls. There ain't too many, I don't think there's any duos. I don't think there's any female duo rap groups in the game but them. So for her to say, I ain't even gotta rap, it just goes back to the privilege that women have in hip hop and in entertainment, period. Not even just hip hop, but entertainment. You know, they don't really gotta rap. They don't really gotta, you know, take it too seriously as long as they look good. You feel me? As long as they look good and sell sex. You feel me? And it's unfortunate that that's what the game has come to. But I totally understand why they're doing it. It's just that it's not, y'all know what I mean and what I'm trying to say. It's not a good look for that girl who's 8, 9, 10 years old and knows all the words to these songs. Cause see, as far as hip hop culture, and this is the 50th year of hip hop being a genre. And so for her to come out and say something like this, it's super disrespectful to the women that came before her. You know what I'm saying? Like the women that came before her, it's super disrespectful. Queen Latifah, they wasn't none of them on no selling sex stuff, but that's kind of what Lil' Kim brought into the game. And to be honest with you, like I said on my last podcast, black people don't own these top major record labels in New York, California, Atlanta. We don't own them. So the way they deal with artists is, unfortunately, if you're a girl, woman, they're not really even gonna be putting your music out. They're not gonna let you release no music unless you have a sexual image. Period. She goes along and says, rap for what? The pussy pay the bills. Cause y'all always saying I can't rap, but I ain't even gotta rap though. Life is great. Do you see how I'm living? I ain't never said I was no lyricist either. I'm not even mad at her for responding like that because social media, people can say anything to anybody. What really be killing me is a lot of these celebrities be responding to normal people when they get questioned about this type of stuff. Now moving along, her, you know, she's a part of a duo. So JT, the other one, who can actually really rap, honestly. Like I ain't really been tapped into her music, but from the moment the City Girls stepped onto the scene, I did my little research and I found out that JT is the one Not this one. That's Young Miami that says she really don't even got to rap. But JT really has a background of rapping. I think Young Miami got in the group just really for entertainment. And there's never been a female duo group since Salt and Pepper in hip hop. I mean, if you go back and look at the history, as far as I know, it's just Salt and Pepper as a duo. You know what I mean? There may be a group of 3 of them or something like that, like TLC. You know what I mean? But even TLC, they were singing for majority. They just had one rapper. You know what I mean? Salt and Pepper both rap. But JT, man, I don't know if y'all seen, but at the BET Awards, she physically assaulted Lil Uzi Vert, the little demon I was talking about here on this podcast before, the little demon of hip hop. Man, I guess Lil Uzi was performing and he said something about Ice Spice that was in his song, but let these other folks tell it like he was sitting in a row close to the stage. Ice Spice on this side, this nigga in the middle, and his girl JT sitting on his left. Let these other folks tell it he was chit-chatting with her, but they're gonna try to be messy and say he was flirting, and he might have been flirting. JT threw her iPhone at his forehead, striked his forehead hard, like. And then she said, "You just," you know what I mean? Like, it was all on video. It was crazy. I immediately went on the internet and was like, brothers who are in a physical abusive relationship with your woman, how are you? Because it's just, shouldn't nobody be putting their hands on nobody. Shouldn't nobody be throwing nothing at nobody, especially somebody you call your partner. And for her to be doing that and humiliating them live on the BET Awards. First of all, shout out to the BET Awards, but I don't even watch y'all no more. I have not watched a full-blown BET Awards episode probably since Will and Jada hosted. And that was before the pandemic. But besides the point, I wonder if JT felt any regret as soon as the phone flew and it smacked him in his forehead. I wonder if she felt terribly sorry immediately as soon as the iPhone smacked his forehead. If y'all go look at the video, it truly looks sad. She looks like she's like super pissed off because he was talking to old girl or whatever. But it's just like, and then there was other videos of them after that the next day at a listening party for his new album that's coming out. And they seem to be doing well. But if you look at his eyes and look at his mannerisms, he still looks, I can't relate. I'm not a famous person. I'm not dealing with all this stuff that's going on. All these eyes on you, but I know it looks toxic. I know it's toxic, period. I don't know if y'all remember, but when Quavo was dealing with Saweetie, she's another rapper. A few years ago, there was a video of them fighting, they wrestling and tussling with each other in an elevator. Yeah. And then about, I don't know, probably about 48, 72 hours later, they called it quits. But Uzi's probably in a good mood because he's supposed to be dropping a new album. So right now, they're probably, she probably apologized to him. They probably, got together, did what they do. They are a couple. They've been messing around with each other for a minute. But in the back of his mind, he gotta know, I don't know, because it looked like he's it's like, bro, blink if you're in trouble. You know what I mean? If you can't speak on it, blink. I don't know. I kind of feel sorry for him, but I don't. So Juneteenth weekend in Chicago, 40 people were injured. I believe 9 people died. I got that right? Yeah, I want to say 40 people were injured. Like shot, not just injured, but shot. 9 people killed. And that was Juneteenth weekend. It is literally the 29th of June. So this was last weekend. Or maybe it was the weekend before. Whatever Juneteenth weekend was, that's when it happened. But my nigga, now it's gonna be July 4th weekend. And if y'all been paying attention, Chicago be popping. I mean, literally, Poppington on July 4th weekend. That ain't somewhere where you want to be. I just, I'm going to continue to pray for Chicago and all of our little cities and just everywhere, for our people as a whole, because, and I don't know if it's a young nigga thing or what, because it can't be, it's definitely not old folks out there tripping. But July 4th is just like, people get to acting stupid. They already got fireworks. And now you don't know you can tell what's a firework and what's a gunshot. But I just hope that it doesn't serve. I hope that nobody gets shot. And obviously people are going to get shot. Somebody's going to get shot today. Somebody's going to get shot tonight. Somebody's going to get shot tomorrow. That's how much it happens. And that's how much man on this earth has lost, because it ain't even really a losing situation. It's just nature. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the black community, we got to get it together, because this is something that's just ugly. It's super ugly. I'm not buying no fireworks. Drop a comment. Let me know how many fireworks y'all buying, how much money y'all done spent on fireworks already. I'm not throwing that money out the window, though. I'm going to play all this small clip. By Dr. Umar. He had stopped by, shout out to my guys out in New York. They got a dope podcast called The Daily Wrap Up. And Dr. Umar, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Dr. Umar. He's somebody that I follow, somebody that I look up to. He's actually in the middle of, structuring and opening. Soon he'll be opening up an all-boys school. I want to say it's in Delaware or Connecticut somewhere. I got to look into it. All-boys school for black kids. Frederick Douglass, Marcus Garvey Institution or something like that. So I'm going to let y'all hear this clip. And then we're going to share our thoughts on it.
You may be a damn good father, but guess what? What are we doing for the community? What are we doing for the children who don't have a father? You don't think the black woman got a right to be angry when she's been raising 2/3 of the kids by herself for 50 years? And the minute she raised her voice, we say she's not humble enough? She had to become masculine to survive the rape, the molestation, the domestic abuse. Are you telling me you can't see how we created that?
I understand that, but she needs to be
If we was
more
loving our
selective.
women and taking care of our women, do you think she would be like that? That personality has a history.
If she's picking Pookie and Ray Ray instead of
You're making her a scapegoat.
No, she's picking a scapegoat.
No.
There's good
Can I ask you a
quality
question?
men that they ignore.
Why she even got? Why is there even a Pookie in the selection?
You gotta ask something.
No. I'm gonna tell you why there's a Pookie in the selection.
Why?
Because black men have abandoned black boys and have allowed social media, white media, athletes, and rappers to raise them. That's why she with Pookie. If we never allowed Pookie to develop, she would not have a Pookie. If we're going to be men, the first thing we got to do is take responsibility for why our women feel the way they feel.
I can hear that.
I'm not saying that they're right to disrespect, because even if a woman disrespects me, right? They still don't give me a right to disrespect her, because she's still the queen of the community. Even if she's not acting like it, I'm going to give her that respect. But when I hear brothers talk like this discourse we having now, we act like we don't understand.
No,
there's reasons for that shit.
I do understand. Women are so valuable. You get what I'm saying? Like, I think women ground men and help them, propel to the next level. I think men get further in life with a woman, right? But if I'm a hardworking man, but I'm only looked at as resources, and then she's ready to jump on Tom, Dick, and Harry because he got flash, he's shining a little bit more, his access to money is quicker than mine. It's kind of hard to have that.
Well, no, I agree with you, but that's not all sisters.
No, it's not.
And if you're constantly running into that type of woman, then the problem is you. because you're attracting a certain low vibrational energy. Why is
why
that?
not that same energy for women? You just again you have
Because
man
we have a
responsible.
conversation as men.
Yeah.
You may be
So basically, he had stopped by their podcast and basically was just telling them what you just heard. My bad, my mic was off. So he was stopped by their podcast, the Daily Wrap Up podcast. You can look them up, YouTube. They're on Instagram and all of that. And basically was just saying, like, you know, how as black men we failed, bro. Like, we have failed, and we're still failing. You know, we sitting here getting mad at our women. So there's a cat on the podcast named Eli, and I salute Eli, Jew, and Ace. Those are the three cats on this podcast. And wait a minute, there's something on here talking about restart and install the latest No, I'm not gonna do that right now. This video though, this is a clip from the video. The video, I suggest if you're an African American, specifically someone born in the United States, bro, you need to go watch this. You need to get on YouTube and you need to watch this. Especially if you are over the age of, especially if you have a child. If you're a father and you were born here on this soil, you need to go watch this. Period. He basically saying us men need to stand up. Simple as that. I really don't have nothing else to say about it because the video is like, the actual video, the whole video and the conversation, and the reason why I say you guys need to go watch it is because it almost made me, I don't want to say like drop a tear, but it emotionally slapped me in the face, bro. Like, I don't have any kids, you know what I mean? Yet, still, you know, still trying to do it with my old lady. God hasn't gave us that blessing yet. He's blessed us in many other ways. And we not rushing that. The time gonna come because God got, you know, he's the all end all be all. But I got hella nieces and nephews that look up to me. I got friends of mine that got children. They're important to me. And like, as black men in America, you niggas is crazy if y'all think that this is really going good. This ain't nothing sweet going on at all. It's crazy out here, bro. I just told you, Chicago got 40 people smoked. 9 of them died. 9 of them ain't breathing no more. Dr. Umar has spoke on how the celebrities are raising us, and that's true. All I wanted to be was a rapper. If you go back to my first episode on this podcast, I talked about all I wanted to be was a rapper. That's all these niggas want to do still to this day. They want to be a rapper. They want to go hoop, be an athlete, or do music. You got the little 2% in this country who got my same skin tone, darker or lighter, and they're really trying to be a lawyer or a doctor, go to college and really figure it out. But typically those guys are in a suburban area with their father in the household who has that kind of background, who instills that in them. You got homies out here, you got guys out here who are in their preteens, teenagers getting in their prime. They're not even 21 yet, 18. And they've been living with nothing but women. Pops ain't been home. They don't have a dad, inexistent. So maybe the only figure they have is an older brother, but then some of them don't even have older brothers. So they're growing up in homes simply raised by women. And nothing's wrong with that. But please understand that it's more easier for them to get bored with school and education and get out in the streets and get involved. And when I mean get involved, I mean get active. They are dwelling in activities, illegal activities, things that pretty much come off as normal, because when they walk outside, poverty is their normal, and that's not normal. You know what I mean? So when you get a chance, Like, I ain't even gonna say poverty's not normal. It's just the situation that we're in as a culture, as a race, how everything has chopped down the block from the 50s to the 60s to the 70s to the 80s to the 90s, when I grew up, to the 2000s, to the 2010s. You feel me? Before the 2010s, rap was not on no drill rap. It was not. There was a little bit of trap in there. There was more hustlers than customers, but now everybody's customers. They quick to drill on you, spin the block. It's crazy. Everybody just wants to rap. Everybody doesn't have the kids, the guys, the young guys don't got what they need, bro. They're just looking at their phone. This is what they're looking at all day, every day. And they see LeBron, they see John Morant, they see Zion Williamson, you know what I mean? Or this is what they see, bro, and this is what they want. Or they see Future, or they see Dirk, or they see Young Boy. So this is what they want. We can't blame them for what they want. We gotta blame ourselves. And just because I ain't got no kids don't mean that I'm not default, not to be blamed. I can be blamed myself, but I try to speak with younger guys that go to the church I go to. I'm talking about they're not even 21 yet. They just 18. One of them's older than 21. One of them 21. But for the most part, there's a couple guys I go to church with, 18, another one's 21, or about to be 21. But they heads already in the right spot. They in the church, they going to school, they doing, like, bro, it's cool, bro. You ain't gotta be a rapper, bro. It's cool. You don't have to go to the studio every day and lock in and get your mama house one day. You can go be a lawyer, bro. Or you don't even have to go to school or do. Nowadays, we in the age of where you can make all types of stuff happen to become successful. Because around here, money makes you successful. So we're not gonna stay on that too long. But yeah, it's a lot. So Young Blue, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Young Blue. He's a rapper out of, I want to say he's from Louisiana somewhere. I might be wrong. Shout out to you, Young Blue, if I'm wrong. But he had came out and he had said, you got to do everything but music to get people to listen to your music. And this is ultimately why I stopped dropping music. I still want to drop music. I still want to release some music, even though I'm underdeveloped as a new Christian trying to follow Christ, because for many years, I just, I went to church with my mother while I was in high school, but I was growing up. I was becoming a 18-year-old towards the end of high school. I was just growing up. I was just having fun still. And that's just something that came along with it, was church. But after 18, I stopped going to church, and now that I'm back full circle, and I'm really trying to regroup and regrow and actually follow Christ. See, a lot of people know God. A lot of people know Christ, and they have a spiritual connection with him. But if you really pay attention, a lot of y'all really don't have a spiritual connection to him. You just say that to make yourself feel better, which is cool. The fact that you are even acknowledging his existence is great. But me, I'm not separating myself from y'all. I'm probably like a little bit of level above, to the point where I'm trying to get in my Bible more. I'm trying to actually understand the verses that I'm reading, because I feel like that is, they say prayer is one of the best ways to connect to God. I do that as well. And we all do that, you know what I mean? The ones that indulge in that. But, there's so many kids out here and people out here, still older cats too. There's a couple of cats that I love to death that I grew up with. They still want to do music. And I ain't got nothing against them still want to do music, because I still do too. We all still want to do it more because it's like a therapeutic thing. You know what I mean? But when the majority that I'm speaking on, they want to still be rappers. They still want to be famous. They still want to be able to get on stage at the BET Awards where people is like reciting their words. Like, nah, bro. Like, we gotta stop moving that direction because these young bulls out here are being misguided. We already went through that. Why should we spend 15, 20 years trying to be rappers, bro? And now these youngsters are coming up. These young bulls, they want to do the same thing. Bro, it's not headed in a good direction at all. Period. And that really just goes back to what Dr. Umar was saying on that clip. We can't really blame nobody but us black men in America. We failing. We failing. If I ever have a child, bro, they're gonna be playing soccer, golf, tennis. I'm gonna try to keep them away from hip hop music, period. Because once they get into that life, bro, then they're gonna try to, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people get involved with that genre, and it's not what it started off being. Hip hop's 50 years old, but when it started off, it was more political. Now it's just like about going viral. It's about sex. And all that is entertaining. That's what the entertainment business is about. But again, a lot of people don't understand that black culture in America, African American culture in America, the one huge part of it, 95% of it, is the entertainment industry. So that's hip hop. But here's the gag. Here's the kicker. The gag is that all these record labels that own you niggas are white owned. Nothing against white people. It is what it is. They not sitting out here making the kind of music that y'all making. You heard Bow Wow say it. And so what Young Blue is saying is you got to do everything nowadays to get people to listen to your music than actually making music. And that's because of social media. You got people on here just doing the most, bro, just so people can listen to your music. People will spam you, spam links, get you to try to listen to their music. Somebody on Facebook I seen earlier today had posted some crazy viral video, and in the comments they posted a link talking about, this is the rest of the video. I click on the video, and it's a random nigga's music video. It took me to a nigga's music video. A bunch of foolery on the internet. It is what it is. I guess I'm just getting older. We all getting older. I'm not really feeling it no more. And at the same time, it ain't even that I'm just not feeling it anymore. Because I mess with a lot of young artists. I believe the hip hop genre is a young man's game. Excuse me. But we could talk about that all day. I'm going to go ahead and move along. What's next? Let's see what we got next here. So this Titan that everybody's been talking about, this Titan thing, bro. This Titan tragedy, is it real? Is it real? Or not? I don't want to offend nobody because one of the people on there took his son. And that's what really sucks about this whole situation, bro. Is like, and then it came out today, I read about it. His son really wanted to go. His son really wanted to be involved. It wasn't, we all was sitting here thinking probably like, man, he 19. He ain't even get to really live his life. He ain't really get to see nothing. Why his dad make him go? Today I watched a video and his mother was like, no, he begged to go. He wanted to be there with his father. So if y'all don't know, man, this submarine, man, these billionaires, millionaires or billionaires, one or the other, it was 5 of them. They spent 250 racks each to go down and look at the Titanic in the ocean, Atlantic Ocean. Mind you, niggas can't even breathe so far down. After a certain level, you can't even breathe, cause like after so far down, there's certain fish in the sea, whales, you know, treacherous whales, and they don't even go so deep. The Titanic was like, correct me if I'm wrong, I want to say it was like, I'm not gonna say what it is because I don't want to sound stupid, but the Titanic was at the bottom, bro. It was at the bottom. So basically, like I said, 5 of these dudes, they got money, they millionaires, billionaires. They all spent 200 racks to go downstairs in the ocean. And check it out. Whole time, there's like other sea animals and monsters in the ocean, bro. Like, and they went in the submarine. I'm sorry to laugh, but they went in the submarine that isn't the biggest submarine, and it's not even a government official owned submarine. Long story short, they went down there and they had a controller. Somebody was controlling it with a controller. And when the news came out, it looked like a Dreamcast controller. A Sega Genesis Dreamcast controller is what it looked like. Some dude up top was controlling it. Or maybe if I'm wrong, excuse me if I'm wrong, maybe one of the guys was inside controlling it. Mind you, one of the people in the submarine was a 19-year-old boy. They lost connection after so long on the first day. So I started paying attention when people was talking about these guys only got 40 hours left of oxygen. So then, next thing I know, I'm thinking like, oh, they dead. They done lost connection to the controller. So now the submarine can't even be controlled. It's just probably floating in the ocean deep down somewhere. Or maybe they got stuck inside something deep down. Because, you know, in the ocean, there's plants and all types of algae and a whole bunch of stuff we're not aware of. We ain't been down there. You know what I'm saying? So today I found out that human remains were found. So, you know, because what happened was the government started sending out a bunch of people. You know, for example, if there's a missing person that falls in a lake, the police show up and they get their little, you know, they get their little squad, just like a SWAT team would show up to do a raid or whatnot. They get their little squad to show up to the water, the body of water, to look for the dead body. So that's what they did here. They said they had so many people that covered the size of the state of Connecticut was looking for these individuals. They never could find them. But all of a sudden, today or yesterday, I think it was today, I heard, oh, the submarine was found with human remains. So what you're saying is these niggas was dead. Y'all found the submarine, y'all found body parts or whatever, but I don't believe it, bro. I just don't believe that this ever even happened, bro. I believe that these guys never even went down there in the first place. To begin with, I don't even believe they went down there. They do have, because this isn't the first time this has happened. The Titan is the Titan is the actual submarine that they went in. That's what it's called. There's a company called Ocean Gate, and Ocean Gate charges niggas $250K to go down and go look at the Titan. It's just like if me and you wanted to go look at the Statue of Liberty in New York City. We got to pay the fee to take the ferry over the water to go to the Statue of Liberty and pay to go look at the monument, the Statue of Liberty. So they was like, they paid, supposedly, they paid 250 racks to get in the Titan through Ocean Gate, the company, to go down and look at the and they said that this was the first time. They said other people, they said the dude who did the movie Titanic did this a few times before he even started filming it. And of course they made these guys sign a waiver because this is a life risk thing, you know what I mean? You could die. But my thing is like, if y'all found human remains, like y'all were looking for these dudes for 2-3 days, but yet now y'all find the remains. How come y'all ain't find them the day before that? I don't believe it, bro. I don't think they ever even went. I think these dudes like faked their death, changed their identities, and if they're billionaires, bro, they could have went and got plastic surgery, got their faces changed. Like I love some white people. I really do mess with some cool white. There's really some cool white people, bro. I work with some hella cool white people, and I'm not trying to come off racist here, but white people have done some really weird stuff in this country. My neighbors hella cool and all that. Like I really mess with a lot of these neighbors are white, and I'm cool with most of them. I'm not really tripping on none of that. But the history in this country of some of y'all is wicked, and I'm not saying that's what's happened. Because if they're really down there and that was their human remains and all that, and that really transpired, I'm not saying it didn't. I'm just saying that in the back of my mind, I'm thinking that they never even went down there. Drop a comment. Let me know what y'all think. And let me know if y'all also think the aliens really live in the in the galaxy. Because I think aliens live in the ocean. People say that the ocean is like, people say that no, aliens live in the galaxy because the galaxy is like way bigger than the ocean, and the ocean is just on Earth. But there's other oceans on other planets, I'm assuming. Maybe there's not. Maybe the body of water as far as the ocean is only an Earth thing. But me personally, I think aliens live in aliens that we can deal with that can be around us. I think they do live in the ocean. I think that because a human can't even survive so deep in the ocean. I forget what the amount of feet and meters it is deep below, but at some point we can't even go down so deep in the ocean because we won't survive. We won't be able to breathe. So up under that, you know what I mean? Like, who knows what's down there, bro? You feel me? I believe that there's aliens down there. I might be crazy, and I'm cool with that. Let me know what y'all think, though. So a big story. We got about 15 minutes here. Carlisha Hood, you know what I'm saying? Carlisha Hood is a Chicago native. Carlisha Hood, if you ain't knowing who Carlisha Hood is, let me just break it down to you real quick. So she was going to pick up some food. There was another nigga going to pick up some food, and his name is Jeremy Brown. They got into some kind of altercation, a verbal altercation, right? They were both picking up some food. I don't know what it was about, bro. I don't know what it was about. But before either one of them could get their food, they're literally inside this establishment to pick up their food, and they're getting into a verbal argument, yelling at each other. Voices is getting loud. Jeremy's like, if you say one more thing, I'm gonna put my hands on you. I'm gonna start beating your ass. So he started knocking, you know what I mean? She kept running her mouth. With the whoop, wouldn't be quiet. He started striking her. You feel me? Like giving her death blows. You feel me? She told her son, who was actually there in the establishment, to shoot him. Her son's 14 years old at the time. Smoked him. He's dead now. He's gone. Police arrived. They put her in handcuffs, take her to jail. Put her son in handcuffs, take him to jail. Since this was probably about, I don't know, at least a week ago. If not a week ago, almost 7 days ago, charges have been dropped. You know, they charged her son, charged her. All charges have been dropped. Like I said, Jeremy Brown is dead. There's a video clip out there. You can go look it up. There was a GoFundMe made for him, but it was his family. They came out today and said that they don't need no GoFundMe. They got paper. They came out and spoke up for him and showed his casket. His casket looked really nice too. On the top, like when you close the casket, it was a graphic picture of him holding I think he was either holding a wad of cash or there was just a bunch of cash right there under his face. It was nice. All charges have been dropped. Carlisha Hood, who is the mother, she has come out and announced that she's suing the city of Chicago Police Department for emotional distress. You know, basically just stating that I would have never thought that I was getting my ass beat. And, you know, she did tell her son to shoot him or whatever because she was getting her ass beat. When dude was putting hands on her, it looked real crazy. And then I gotta get handcuffs and go to jail. She was probably in jail for a couple of days before they let her out, just to drop all charges. So, the man on camera though that you can see a little bit of Carlisha Hall in the beginning of the video if you haven't seen it. He left behind 2 twin daughters. You know what I mean? And I looked up a post on Facebook. I came across the post from June 21st. Or was it June 27th? I think it was June 21st. Correct me if I'm wrong, if anybody knows, but it was from 2021. And it was him. It's a famous picture right now. It's viral. It's a picture of him holding his 2 daughters, one on the left, one on the right. And it was their birthday. It was a post he made wishing them happy birthday. So he's leaving them behind. And it's unfortunate because the last clip and memory that these girls are going to be able to live with is their father putting hands, striking a woman, which resulted in his life being taken. That's how they're going to be able to, that's going to be their last memory. I mean, whatever their last memory is with their father is their last memory, but this will ultimately be their last memory because they're going to have to deal with this or just never watch it and never deal with it. Now, I also heard some stuff. I heard some folks speaking on Facebook about why they even got into it the way they did. This isn't a credible source, but what I was told was that Carlisha Hood had exposed him for engaging. Basically, she confronted him about partaking in some same-sex activities. Basically claiming that he was partaking in same-sex activities. But like I said, there's no credibility that I can confirm. The internet can be super messy. But what it sounds like, she might have confirmed him about being gay, possibly, you know, engaging in some sexual activities with the same sex as him. And, you know, that's still not enough. Even if that is true, which I don't believe it is to be, because I don't really have no credible source, that's still no reason to put your hand on a woman like that. So ultimately, you know what I mean? Like, his ego literally got him killed after celebrating the birthday of his twins. Moving along, Nicki Minaj has announced she's announced like an official release date for the Pink album. The Pink 2 album is what it's being called. Do we really care? Salute to Nicki. She's looked at as the GOAT in the female rap community. Shout out to her. She also came out and said that she's gonna donate. She's not even gonna donate. She said she's gonna pay for the boy's college. The boy that shot this dude, Jeremy Hall, I believe his name is. The man that died, the name is Jeremy, but Carlisha Hall, she was getting into it with Jeremy. She told her son, who was 14 years old, who also got arrested that night. You know, like I said, all charges dropped. Nicki Minaj has since then came out and said she's gonna pay for his college. Pretty cool, pretty dope. And like I said, she said she's releasing her album in November. I've already seen her recently doing a song with Ice Spice. Shout out to Ice Spice. I'm not a big Ice Spice fan, but what I would like Nikki to understand is she don't never mess with the girls that are like not light skinned. You know what I mean? There's plenty of girls out here rapping because right now I'm not really tapped in and tied in with a lot of these girls that are rapping, but I have noticed that they're popping right now. There's a lot of them popping more than the dudes. You still got the regular guys that rap that they're doing their thing right now. A lot of them are from Atlanta. You got some that's from Cali, some that's from the East Coast. But majority of these women are killing it. I mean, I didn't even watch the whole BET Awards, but I would think at least 3 girls that rap probably performed. And I'm gonna need her to do a song with Scarlett or something. That's what this really is about. I don't know if you heard of Scarlett. Scarlett is different. She's like a DMX. You know what I mean? She's from the Bronx. Same place Cardi B's from. Cardi B already shouted her out, reposted her on her Instagram. And she's black as this microphone, you feel me? And I just don't see Nicki Minaj doing that. I wish Nicki Minaj would engage with some other people other than what society deems as the pretty girls. You know what I mean? So it's studies reveal, I wanted to let y'all know, studies reveal that women are much more happier when they're single than men when they're single. Well, what I can say is the Bible says that no man is meant to be alone. I mean, look at Adam, you know what I mean? God made made woman out of the rib for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So, let me see. I had a clip I wanted to play about that. Let's see what he got to say.
Like women, and it shows. It shows men don't even like women, and it shows. It shows in their opinions. It shows in how they operate. It shows in how they talk with their friends. It shows that a lot of times men just go for women because that is the right thing to do. That is what we are taught up on. But a lot of men don't even really like women because you don't respect them. You don't see their worth. You don't understand them. You don't try to understand them. The only time a black man is able to actually respect a black woman is if it comes from trauma. Is if she's putting money on his books. Is if she's holding it down. That's the only time he's able to understand her, or if she's crying. But a lot of times when it comes down to black men, they do not really respect black women. They do not really appreciate black women. So you can't really, and I don't even talk about you. Yeah. I'm directing it to him, so you can't really say pick me. Because what it is as a gay black man, and I'm not even sexually attracted to them, I respect them and I honor them and I understand that they make it happen.
But you can't sit here and say that. Y'all do not. You cannot say that because you don't know the emotional shit that we go through because we actually been in love with women.
So clearly this is a man from the LGBTQ community, black dude, pretty much saying we don't really, black men don't, and it sounds like he's really directing this towards, it could possibly just be a global thing, because I've heard the way Nigerian men can act, I'm not just trying to call out Nigerian men, but, men with my skin color from all ethnicities, but basically what he was saying is we can't really love black women and we don't really respect them until we're in a traumatic situation, where we need them for financial situations like being bailed out of jail, putting money on the books, etc. Need money for rent or I'm 50-50 with him. It goes back to what Dr. Umar was saying. We have failed him, and I can see why he would say, I can see why this dude on this podcast is saying that. But my thing is, with me, and I'm not just speaking on my personal experience, I'm just talking about my personal belief. If you got God in your life, if you follow God, if you follow Jesus Christ, you shouldn't even be moving like that. Yeah, you're going to slip up and fall, and you may have to repent with the Lord, but that's your representation with the Lord, with Jesus. I still go to church every Sunday that I try to, and I still sin. I'm not perfect. I'm underdeveloped. I'm working on it. You know what I mean? And when I mean I'm working on it, I'm gonna be working on it for life, bro. Like, this ain't something that's gonna just change overnight. This ain't something that's gonna, I can't tell you, oh, in 2027, I'm gonna be the perfect follower of Christ. I'm probably still gonna be sinning. Not purposely, but the fact that I'm trying to follow. And so basically what I'm saying is, these niggas that he's referring to, they on demon time. And some of the women that he's referring to that these men would be dealing with are on demon time. So you gotta factor that into people's lifestyles. Not one time did he mention anybody following Christ or how people need to follow Christ, especially in our community, because that's really the only thing that's gonna turn us around. But a lot of people in our community ain't going for it because they feel like they'll be controlled. But really they're mad or confused because of people. They've had an experience with a person or some folks in a church home. And that's not what following Christ is about. I'm not following my pastor, my preacher, or anybody I go to church with. It's God first, family, and then whatever it is into that. You're supposed to follow God first and not be so taken back by what people have done, what traumatized you about what this person said or looked at you about this way when you went to church. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta get in the Bible and read and really study, not just the Bible and everything, but even though that come with it, but the fact that we like to study people more in the church, even if it's just a pastor that's asking for some offering or tithes. We want to sit there and focus on that, not knowing, like, intelligently, you don't have to stop there and only constantly think about that one thing. Like, why are you constantly, and that's why I had to get my head out, because I was like spiritually connected to God for years. Thought I was cool. Thought that that's all I needed to get in heaven. That's not all you need to do to get in heaven. You need to constantly follow God, Jesus Christ. For whatever religion, if you feel like if Christian is not the religion that you want to follow, by any means, I'm not mad at you about it. But for me, if I'm gonna follow, if I'm gonna be a Christian, it's to call myself a follower of Jesus Christ, because I want to get into the kingdom. Like I mentioned before, I'm not perfect, so I may slip up and sin. But you can repent for everything that you sin for. That's not an excuse to sin. But you can repent and ask the Lord to forgive you. But if you're just lollygagging and with women out here and playing it cool, just trying to do you and be young, you're not going to go to heaven, bro. Every man needs a woman, bro. Period. And I would rather have a woman that follows Christ. And if I'm a woman, I would want a man to lead, but lead as a follower of Christ. Y'all ain't listening to me, and I'm not gonna sit here and preach to y'all long about that. We can get into a whole nother episode and talk about that. So what he's saying ultimately, I'm 50-50 with, because he didn't, like I said, he didn't mention nothing about God, nothing about fault. A man that leads properly is going to lead. A man that leads properly is someone who believes in the Lord and follows God. Period. I want to shout out Twin Gang. I've never heard of their music or anything, but I'm assuming they do music. But these guys are walking around the country right now. They're walking around all 50 states for kids who are in foster care. They've already cleared 23 states. I just wanted to put that out there because I don't know any other rappers doing something like that. These guys, they're actually doing something that Dr. Umar was talking about. See how black men have failed and all we want to do is just rely on, right now we've been relying on rappers and LeBron James and other athletes to raise our young men. But Twin Gang, and they both have names, I just didn't write them down. These guys are walking around all 50 states in the United States of America for foster care, for kids who are in foster care. That's I'm not saying that that's the end all be all of changing the narrative for what, you know, men of our time and generation can help teach some of these kids. But that's a start. I was just talking to my two homeboys earlier, like, man, I wish we could set up a situation where we could have a meeting with some of these young bulls. But some of these young guys, they don't, you know, I remember being young, hard-headed, don't want to listen. But that's not an issue to sit here and just give up on what we could do. I'm still gonna try to push. I'm still gonna try to push the narrative and try to have some kind of meeting. Because if we can change one, then we can reach that village of young bulls. Because it's gonna take a village to raise them. We gotta start somewhere. We gotta start somewhere. Yeah, so I don't know. I hate to get too deep with y'all, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. I mean, I got a few more things I could talk about, but we didn't already hit our hour mark. Drop a comment. Let me know what's going on. As always, you can follow me on social media. You can find me on Facebook. My name is Michael Dixon. MIKELDIXON. That's on Facebook only. Of course, you know the YouTube channel here. Make sure you subscribe, like this video, share it for me. It's free. And yeah, I also have a number you guys can call in. We can tap in and discuss some things on other podcasts. You know what I'm saying? I'm hopeful to have some more guests here soon. I've been working and setting up, trying to build with some people that I go to church with. So hopefully soon here, I'll have a whole nother series going on with this podcast thing. You feel me? So yeah, until next time, it's your boy Michael Duano. It's the Out the Way Podcast. And we out.